Disclaimer, this podcast discusses mental health. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're struggling with your mental health, please remember it's okay to ask for help and seek the appropriate help through a qualified healthcare professional.
Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? My name is Jake Pearson, and today we have with us a mindset specialist, yoga and mindfulness teacher, and author of Mindflip, Heidi Horne from New South Wales, Australia. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you, Jake?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Refreshing to see another Australian. It's been a while since we had another Aussie on the podcast. What's the weather like up there?
It's beautiful at the moment. We've had amazing weather, but as we love to do in Sydney, it's going to rain again. So we've got that for the next couple of days, but I'm going to get out there and enjoy it before it buckets down.
Absolutely, and it sounds like it'll be a good few hours for you at least. Heidi, tell me, what makes you happy?
As teaching both parents, kids and teens yoga and mindset and mindfulness and coaching them for, nearly 17 years, I love those moments where they are all in the zone and they're all, either doing yoga, they're chilling out in meditation, or in my coaching programs, they've had those aha moments. And for me, the best thing is if they've come in frazzled or stressed, or you can tell that there's a lot on their mind, and then they've walked out at the end of the day feeling more calm, feeling blissful, just sort of floating out. That's my job done. Do you know what I mean? Because I know how good it feels. So if they're only getting a little bit of that, they're doing well. So obviously I'm very passionate about my job, and that's why I wrote the book Mindflip, and I just want to keep sharing it with the world. And also I love to teach people how to get in the flow. And I think if you are in the flow, you are in the present moment, because just stop thinking about the future and the past. And you can only really truly be happy in the flow and in this moment. So anything that gets people in the flow is a great thing. And for me, I love getting out in nature. I love bushwalking. I love being at the beach. I love bike riding. I love hanging out with my kids. I love cooking. I love listening to music, hugging the dogs. They all get you in the flow. So, anything like that, you have stopped those to-do lists and you stop thinking about the emails. You stop thinking about what's happening in the world, and you let go of all those regrets, and you're just in the moment. And, if you can bring yourself into the moment each and every day, and as many times as you can, that's how you're going to be happy, so.
I feel like what you've just said summarizes what I'm trying to accomplish with this podcast, is helping people come into that flow by really leaning into what makes them happy and present. So beautifully said. Now, what would you say to our listeners? Because I know they're hanging on to this part of the episode where, what am I going to learn? What can I take away from this episode? What would you say to them who they're struggling to find happiness in their lives? Is it based on what you just said there, find the flow?
Well, when you're in the flow, you often live in your purpose as well. So you are in that moment. After the lockdown, and we had a lot of lockdowns here in Sydney, as I know you did in Melbourne, and life went from really busy to pretty much nothing. I had a lot of time to really refine my morning routines and my evening routines, and sort of this is what I really want to teach people as well, is that you don't need a lot of time every morning and the end of every day to set yourself up. So every morning, if you, instead of rolling out of bed and reaching for your phone, and just your mind's already in a calm state. If you feel it with all that junk from the news and the emails and everything like that, you're going to sit in that negative mindset. But if you start your day going, hey, today's going to be a good day. What can I be grateful for? Let's do some nice deep breathing. I'm going to manifest an awesome day. That's pretty much it. Do you know what I mean? And then if you just keep touching that base throughout the day, and then end with that gratitude, you're cruising into a good night's sleep. And I talk a lot about gratitude, because pretty much if you are feeling grateful, it's pretty much impossible to be angry or fearful or worried. Tony Robbins, I think, said what did he say? The solution to anger and fear is gratitude. And it's, it is really hard. You can try it to be angry or worried or fearful when you're feeling gratitude. So if you can top end those two parts of the day, the beginning and the end, with some things that you're grateful for, you're going to set yourself up for a good day ahead. And you're going to keep touching base on that throughout the day.
Honestly, I could not agree anymore with something that's been said like that here on this podcast. I touch base with gratitude pretty much at every opportunity I can. And it's got to a point where I don't force it. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a place you want to get to. Thank you so much for sharing all things that make you happy. We have really enjoyed your time here.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.